Picture this. By 2030, almost 40% of the starter homes on your block could belong to a handful of Wall Street landlords. That porch you've been dreaming of for your pumpkins? Yeah, it's now listed as a single-family rental, and the asking price is whatever they feel like charging. The American dream isn't just vanishing, it's being sold back to you, with the first payment due on the first of the month. Let's dig into how we got here. Today we're talking about the one destination you can never really leave: home, the place you keep your toothbrush. Whether you're renting in Raleigh, trying to buy a house in Boise, or just staring at the bungalow next door wondering how it's sold for a small fortune, this is the real story behind America's housing chaos. And trust me, it's going to decide where your next vacation, or your permanent escape, might have to be. If it feels like you're getting squeezed, you are. Since 2020, home prices have shot up an insane 40%, while our wages have barely crawled up 5%. You feel that gut punch every single time you open Zillow, right? I know I do. And for renters, there's no escape. The average rent in the US rocketed up 28% in that same period. Your paycheck isn't just losing a race, it's running with cement boots on. And what do we always hear from the politicians? We just need to build more. More apartment blocks, more zoning changes, more tiny homes in people's backyards. And sure, building more helps a little, but prices are still lapping new construction like a Tesla racing a tricycle. So what's the other giant engine driving this that nobody ever seems to talk about? Let's rewind to 2008. The housing market had just crashed. Banks were practically drowning in foreclosed homes, and they wanted to get rid of them fast. So instead of selling them one by one, they sold off entire neighborhoods at a time. And who showed up with duffel bags of cash? Companies like Blackstone, Invitation Homes, and Pretium Partners. They bought up whole streets for pennies on the dollar, maybe gave them a quick coat of paint, and turned every single one into a permanent rental property. Today, Invitation Homes alone owns over 80,000 single-family houses. Their strategy? Show up with all-cash offers, waive inspections, and outbid regular families by 20% or more, sometimes without ever even setting foot inside the house. But now, their game has gotten even slicker. Instead of just buying up existing homes, these firms are now funding entire new subdivisions that were never, ever meant to be sold to families. Imagine it, rows of brand new 2- and 3-bedroom homes with perfect manicured lawns and not a single for sale sign in sight. From Charlotte to Phoenix, these build-to-rent communities are exploding, with some areas seeing 60% growth in just 1 year. It's entire neighborhoods of the American dream, built, boxed up, and stamped with "Do not sell ever." Okay, you are just here for travel tips and cheap tacos, I get it. But the same forces pricing you out of your hometown are hammering the locals in your favorite vacation spot. Remote workers fleeing sky-high rents in California are landing in places like Boise, Tampa, and Fayetteville, causing local rents to go from pretty manageable to "holy cow, that's a mortgage" practically overnight. I met a couple in Phoenix who were paying $1,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment in 2019. Today, that exact same unit is $2,200. Same old carpet, same community pool, just a new corporate landlord. Now multiply that story a few 100,000 times and you'll see why the rental market feels like a game of musical chairs where half the chairs just disappeared. And this isn't just an American problem. You see the same headlines written in different languages all over the world. In Lisbon, locals are marching in the streets to protest rent hikes driven by foreign investment funds. In Mexico City, the flood of Airbnb money has pushed long-term rents up 50% in just 3 years. Condos in Bangkok that used to be full of teachers and aid workers now sit empty and dark, owned by offshore companies just waiting for the market to jump. The moment investors sniff out that perfect combination of sunshine and a bargain, prices don't just go up, they pole vault. When a home just becomes a number on a spreadsheet, the whole neighborhood changes. The landlord lives 1,000 miles away, so broken porch lights stay broken, and urgent maintenance requests get stuck in a call center queue on the other side of the planet. Kids grow up next to a revolving door of neighbors they know will be gone in 12 months. The simple idea of putting down roots starts to feel less like a right and more like a luxury perk, only available in the VIP package. So if the math stays the same, Wall Street firms could control 40% of all single-family rental homes by the year 2030. Think about that. Entire zip codes where every single house is a rental, every lease automatically renews with a 10% rent hike, and owning a home is just a story your grandparents tell. This isn't some dystopian novel. It's just what happens when compound interest and corporate budgets are left to do their thing. First, follow the money. Websites like Redfin and Atom have dashboards that show you exactly where big investors are buying up properties. If you're looking to buy, stay away from those areas. Otherwise, you're basically bringing a spork to a bazooka fight. Second, check out the B-team cities, places like Huntsville, Wichita, or Greenville. Investors haven't totally overrun them yet, and prices still move at a human speed. Third, think about getting a passport. In the interior of Portugal or parts of Thailand, you can still buy a nice house for what a down payment costs in the US. You don't have to pack your bags for Chiang Rai tomorrow. But just knowing you have that option is powerful. America's housing crisis isn't an accident, it's a business model. Sure, supply and demand matter. But the biggest players on the field are writing a whole new set of rules designed to price out anyone who just wants a yard for their dog and a mailbox with their name on it. Knowing this won't fix the market overnight, but it will stop you from walking blindly into bidding wars you were never meant to win. So the next time someone just shrugs and says, "Hey, that's just supply and demand," you can send them this video. The American dream isn't dead, it's just on a rolling lease, and the rent is whatever the algorithm thinks you can bear. But here's the good news. Once you understand the game, you can start making smarter moves. Whether that's finding a small town with great internet in Alabama or a quiet colonial in Portugal that hasn't been discovered yet. Drop your own rent horror story in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next place you might actually be able to afford to call home. If this is hitting home for you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. On this channel, we dig into where the smart moves are, like the up-and-coming towns in Portugal or the US cities that are still priced for actual humans before the investment algorithms find them. And share this video with that friend who just lost another bidding war. They'll get it.